Me. There I am. This is what happens when I'm on my own for this live stream. My team weren't able to make us in the background, so do bear with me with the tech. But we are live again at the Health Plus Care Show, and this is the last session. So I am going to bring to you as many speakers again as I can. Put your questions in the chat if you are watching live. If you're not watching live, that's absolutely fine. Do engage. Remember to share and remember to like. We like your likes. It makes me know that you're actually doing something that, or we're doing something that you engage with and that you actually enjoy watching. So I'm going to go straight into my interview. I have actually dragged Isaac away from the conference to come and talk to us today. And if some of you don't know Isaac, he has written a fantastic book, which has been so helpful to so many managers across the social care, really, about being outstanding. And he's given a talk today, which we will talk to him about, and so much more. Advising care homes as well. He's on the ground trying to make us all do better care, which is always helpful. Love the advice, love the support. So, Isaac, some people may not know you. I don't know who those people are, but just in case they don't know you, can you just introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
I'm a nurse myself, very proud to be a nurse. And I managed a care home which was rated as outstanding in all the domains. And then I quit my job, left my job with a happy ending, and then started consultancy, helping care homes to turn around, improve the quality standards. I love what I do.
I think it shows. I think it shows the passion that you have in what you do is just incredible. I'm just going to do a quick tech check to make sure that I am not muted or anything. No, it all looks good.
Okay. Don't forget the subscribe button.
Yeah, always subscribe. Thank you. So we haven't spoken properly for a while. So this is a great opportunity to kind of catch up. Maybe 1 second. Might have to plug in a charge in a mo. Maybe you could just talk to the audience while I plug in a charger. Your book that you did a while back, and also what you're focusing on now. So I'll hand the mic to you for a moment.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The book that I have written is called How to Get Outstanding. You can get that on Amazon, which is going very well. It's a simple guide. It's not a literature heavy type of book. It's a simple, easy to read guide, and make things practical in your front line, in your care home, because that's very important. It's easy for us to buy a book and leave it in the shelf, but it's more about action that you take that makes a difference in your care home or the setting around you. It's all about delivering the best possible care. So I have listed quite a lot of based on the Chloe's of CQC. So all you have to do is just check if you are doing all those things. If not, try to do it and then produce that evidence to CQC so that you will get the rating that you deserve. So that's what I recommend you to do. And there are also very excellent books out there as well on recruitment, care management. There's only few books out there, but I think you should read a lot to improve your own personal skills. And I hope it helps. Give me the feedbacks.
Thank you for holding the fort. And that was also very interesting. You had a session earlier today around authors in social care. Who did you have on your panel, and what, if anything, if you can learn anything, but what takeaways did you get from that panel?
It's basically, I think our sector is so huge. We are taking care of like nearly 1 million people, and the number of books out there from personal experience is very limited. So I try to bring in all these people together to give motivation and inspiration for others to share their experience. So that was the whole agenda behind it. And I had Neil Eastwood, who is author of Saving Social Care, then Jackie Poole, quite famous in dementia care, Sophie Caltad, who is on staff well-being, and then Liam Palmer, who is an expert in management, care home management. So I brought these people to tell us more about their story of writing the book. So it's not more about writing a book, become famous, and then have become a millionaire. No, I don't think I have reached that stage yet. But it's more about that satisfaction you get when you actually deliver that as your own baby, as a book, and then somebody else's uses. So I had so many people coming here today came up to me and said, we read your book, we implemented those, and one of them got outstanding. So it's
Wow.
very rewarding, I would say. I think even if I
Mm.
die, probably my legacy exists, maybe in a smaller format, I would say.
Oh, in a huge format, and please don't die anytime soon. And in terms of what you're doing now, because I'm even more interested almost on the kind of stuff that you do day to day,
Yep.
going into care homes, really helping them to understand where they're going wrong,
Yep.
and then helping to create a plan.
Yep.
So I don't know if I've described what you do very well, but can you talk about the kind of things that you're helping people with at the moment,
Yep.
and how you generally help care homes?
Two modes of work I do. One is a practical aspect, which is mock inspection, giving them strategy on how to get things right. And when somebody is facing CQC issues, that's where I advise as well. The second aspect is coaching and mentoring element, which means you come to me and tell me, Isaac, guide me the way on how to make my care home successful. I make them do things so that they can become successful. So it's more about bringing the best out of them, and they use that skills and then guide them to the right places, and you know achieve the best care. I think once you deliver the best possible care, CQC will come to you for giving you better rating.
Right, got it. There's so much happening in social care right now.
Yep.
Like it's just blows. I can't keep up.
Yep.
As a care manager, I think you just want to focus on the main, like what's CQC asking you to do
Yep.
for regulation? How am I supporting
Yep.
the people that need support? And sometimes even that feels like that doesn't kind of like gel together at the moment. But I mean, in terms of how care is at the moment and the whole debate around care and where it is now opposed to where it was 2-3 years ago, in your mind, how are you looking at social care and how it's being talked about and how policymakers are getting involved? And is there anything that worries you in terms of how it's being talked about, or is there anything that you're excited about in terms of looking forward to the future for care?
Well, thank you for asking that question. One main aspect is I'm worried that if you look at the regulations, they are actually help you to protect you as a service user, to get the essential care. So regulation 9 till 20A, if you look at, those are the core concepts, like getting the right fluids or getting the right care, treated with the dignity and respect, getting the consent. That should be always our focus. And I think during the after coronavirus thing, we have diverted our attention to quite a lot of, I would say, noise. So a lot of admin stuff added by the corona virus and related stuff, which is unnecessary. I think it's time to step down that bit and then regain focus back on the basic core care. I think we shouldn't overwhelm the managers with extra administrative stuff when their focus should be actually focusing on the right care in the front line, because that's what matters. And that's where we need to improve the system rather than, having all other things are distraction, I would say.
I think that's just such an important concept. Is there's a lot of noise, and it is just that everywhere you go, and it's honing down on what are the real important things that I need to focus on for this person. And sometimes it is the real small things close to home. It's not the big high level stuff. What do you think about tech in care? Just small questions to finish on.
I'm a passionate believer of using technology to deliver better care, but we have to critique ourselves in when we choose the right mode of technology. We have to be careful about, are we focusing on the care that's being delivered? Is that actually making our life easier, or is it actually complicating things? Because there's lots of stuff out there who create more administrative burden for you rather than actually taking time away from you. So choose it very carefully. I think digital skills for the social care workers is important from now on. I think people are getting used to it. I think can use Facebook. They can use any system.
Exactly. Because there's a lot everywhere. There's focus on digitalization, but there's so many products out there. Even recently, we've been trying to look at a email system, and because of the way our services run, we have like sometimes, you know, getting one system that works right across the board is really difficult. So it is just honing down and finding out and taking time over it, and not just rushing for the first thing because someone said you need to use it. And in terms of what you're hoping to do in the future, will there be a book 2, a second version, or are you taking more time out? What are you hoping to do?
I think book 2 definitely, but I have to reach a milestone in order to do it.
Okay. Can you tell us what the milestone is, or is this
not yet? I know it's I think whenever we write a book, there has to be some kind of value in it. So there's no point in publishing a lot of books unnecessarily. It's a lot of effort and hard work. I think in terms of future plans, of course, I definitely want to improve the quality of standards of care. I think through my coaching, through my mock inspection consultancy, I'm really heavily passionate about that. So if someone wants interested to know more, get the inspiration into them, I'm ready for it. And I'm also looking at opportunities where I want to take co-work care homes, so as an ownership. So that's also my focus at the moment.
Wow, that's really interesting. I love that so much, and I could talk to you forever on this, but we do have to move on. But thank you so much for coming and joining us. And then hopefully we'll catch up with you again soon.
Thank you.
Yes.
Subscribe and like.
Yes.
Co-produce care.
Thank you. He's well trained. I paid him for that. No, I don't really. So like I said, I'm on my own today. So I'm going to just pause this for a second. So I'm going to go out of shot, and then I'm going to grab somebody else to come and talk to us. I'm not quite sure which one on the list of people I'm going to bring up at the moment, but whoever can get up here the quickest for you. So if you're watching on watching this back, then you can just fast forward. If you're watching it live, then just go and get yourself a cup of tea, check some emails, do whatever you're doing right now, and then I'll be back shortly.
Love you.
everyone, back again, and I have two guests with me. We're all very snug because I don't think I've quite positioned the camera properly, but we'll ignore that as long as you guys can hear us. So still at the Health Plus Care Show, and I've got two fantastic guests. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and we're going to talk about what organisation they're with, and then just generally we'll probably talk about care in general and what they're up to and what their passions are. So of course, most of you are watching this back, so you can share, like, subscribe, do all of the usual stuff. We like your likes again because we like to know that you know that what we're doing and that you like what we're doing. So please do that. But for now, I will ask my two lovely guests that I pulled from the conference floor again to introduce themselves. And if you're watching live, then please do ask some questions. So I will start with you.
Hi, Sophie. My name's Rishi Jawa here, and I'm from Care Vision. That's one of the hats that I wear. We also have Namaste Care International, which is another organisation that I lead. It's been really great being here today, seeing face, and seeing you, Sophie. It's been a highlight for me.
Thank you. What a charmer. And over to you.
My name's Dudley Sawyer. I also work with Care Vision as one of my various hats. I also chair 15 London boroughs for care managers, as well as driving change for diversity and inclusion in the sector. And really wonderful to be here to see everyone coming together and really sharing great stories, tales of coming off the back of the pandemic and really showcasing what social care is all about.
Absolutely. That is it, isn't it? It's all about sharing stories and getting out there, feeling like we're a community again. Definitely feel that today in this conference. It's just really nice. It's nice that we all can be together. For people who don't know your organisation, you've got your stand here. Can you give a little bit of a overview of what it is, how it started, and then just let people know what it's all about?
Brilliant. So Care Vision was actually born out of running a group of care homes. My mum and dad started our care group. The first home that we started, we all lived in one room at the top of the house, and I grew up with 5 grandmas and 5 grandpas. So it was a really unique, lovely childhood that I never appreciated at the time. And then over the years, I had other plans, and some years back I went to help my parents, and that was that. I've been leading our care group ever since. So technology was a big part of what we do and what we wanted to do. And we looked at some of the other systems that were on the market, and we found that maybe they only took us so far. So the idea behind Care Vision was to create a system that was going to be user friendly, so that people with their skill levels, their language abilities that we know very well in the care industry can still capture notes in a very quick and easy way, but still capture the detail that needs to be there as well. So that's where, coming from a provider background, I feel that we've really achieved a very user friendly, detailed system. The other concept of it is to bring all of those operations, for example, rota, EMAR, and the other elements that make up running a care service into one system as well. Okay. So I think that's another great strength of what we do.
So how long have you been around for?
So we've been around as a company for about 5.5 years.
Okay.
But yeah, organically we grew through my own network and connections. We didn't really have to do much branding or marketing.
That's amazing.
And we're really proud now that we've achieved our NHSX. We're on the assured suppliers list, and for a company from such humble beginnings, where me and Dudley and Abdullah and Oleg, where we started, it's just been really exciting that we're up there with some of these companies that have the backing and have been around for much longer. So it's been really good.
So how is your involvement in this organization? I feel like you guys know each other really well? You've got a kind of friendship, and yeah.
Well, it's wonderful when you meet like-minded people. Funny enough, there was a care managers meeting, and I had thought about software, and then I heard Rishi talking. And I said, that's my idea, and it started from there. And we shared similar backgrounds. My parents have run care homes and grown up and around that space as well. And I think one of the things I really love about Care Vision, which was really wonderful, because it was built from a carer's point of view. So it wasn't looked at from all these wonderful systems of all these people from a technology point of view coming in. It was created by the carers with input from them of what they felt was the issue. And if you think about it, a lot of the time was spent with admin and less time with care. We wanted to reverse that. And that's one of the things that's made our system really popular and really easy to use. So every time we've actually gone out to try and put something together, we've actually responded to the people on the ground level, because those are the people actually bringing the notes together and the information. I think the importance is forgotten when the people go up higher up the ladder, the NHS. You really need information from those at the ground. And I think that's one of the wonderful things about what we've done with Care Vision.
I think it's really refreshing to have a system that's actually built for people who have literally lived in a care organization. I've got experience of that as well. And it's just, even working with people like what you say, you have tech companies, they're coming and they say, well, this is what you want because this is the system that they've got, rather than actually designing a system around what you need. And that kind of like ground up, co-produced way of developing a system is not very, I don't think you see that very much. People might say they do, but they'll go and do a focus group or something and then say they know what they're doing. So this is actually a really, really good system. I want to kind of know how you find marketing this system to other like local authorities, because there's some big players out there with some big funding, and you know your system seems like it's a really good way to go with this kind of stuff. Do you find it difficult amongst all the different tech voices to get traction?
You know, I think with everything, we actually welcome more companies entering the industry because it's only going to improve the quality. I think NHSX and what they're doing with the assured supplies list has been another positive step forward, because then there's a framework that can give people confidence that a body like the NHS have gone through the rigor of that process and they've achieved that status. So it's going to give some people some assurance, some sort of quality, and it gives newer entrants to the market a sort of a benchmark to try to achieve. One of the things that Dudley and I are really passionate about is how we can change that negative perception of care homes, and we need to start putting more positive stories out there in the media. And another thing that again that we feel is a real untapped resource within the UK is younger people. Without the reliance of sponsor licenses in my own care group, we would not be able to manage, to be frank. And how long can this country sustain the reliance on foreign workforce? And I'm all for it. My parents came here. You know, Dudley's in the same way, you know, for starting a new life and for supporting NHS and working with them. But if we cannot engage younger people and turn people's perceptions round to say, actually giving care back, being there with an older person, connecting with an older person. I don't have my granddad in my life, but I can visit someone and still have that connection. This is a really important thing. And I think technology companies can play a really important role to turn young people on to coming into care. And then the younger people that we found when we're onboarding people using Care Vision is the older people sometimes reserved, and they're like, well, it's going to be hard for me. But there's a real dynamic, lovely learning process where we say that actually the younger people who are going to pick up tech so quickly can then learn from the experience of the older people when it comes to how to support someone, how to speak in a nice pace, how to understand somebody's culture. All of those things older people can teach us. So it's a great two-way process. And this is where Care Vision as well can play a role in bringing the team together and raising status. And I think local authorities need to look at that as well, you know, from a sort of overview perspective.
That sounds like you've got a really good overview of what needs to be done. And I definitely can, everything that you were saying, I was like, absolutely, I can see it in the sector. You've got young people who are like, they want to get in, they want to do stuff. And actually they are sometimes, I don't know, really passionate. Well, I think people think young people wouldn't want to do care, but people who are younger, who do care, maybe come on as apprentices, they are ace. They're amazing. And the kind of like intergenerational relationships you see with like older people being looked after by young people, it's just lovely to view. And I never really saw the technology as bringing those two generations together in that way in the workforce. So that's actually really kind of, got my mind spinning. That's amazing. For you, like, what do you see as the way forward for the organization?
I think it's very interesting because there's been an influx now of all these new technology suppliers coming to the sector. And one thing that I think we've been constant about, and going back partly to sort of one of the questions you just raised, was the human nature of us. And I think we've kept to being who we are. We haven't changed. And I think coming across being authentic and really showcasing what social care is about. We haven't lost the values from our parents' generation. The care is still at the heart of what we do. So I think it comes across because people selling people a system that doesn't smell or look like a care system is the thing that I think we're sort of worried about. And so maintaining that is one of the things. I think the other thing which I think is important in talking about what Rishi talked about is when we think about recruitment and retention, people already think about care as, you know, looking after someone, you know, but technology now plays a big part in sort of social care. So there's other jobs in there that people can come into, especially the younger generation. They can develop as well and help to develop something which can also integrate into a system which provides help for those those growing older as well. And so I think it works where we all can join in this party together. And I think it's really key. So those are the things that sort of make us sort of stand out. We're looking not just for the future, but the present as well.
Do you know what? You two are a perfect example of what we need to be going out and telling people care can do for your career, right? So a lot of people, they'll have someone a cup of tea and this and that. But as a young person, you don't wake up in the morning saying, all I want to do is give someone a cup of tea. That's just a rubbish ad. But the way that you both have been involved with care, at a really young age, you've come up, you have gone through different levels, and now you are running an organization, you're speaking at events, you're doing stuff like this. And you've been in the system as well, working as care workers. So I think this is the side of care that people don't really see, and nobody really advertises it. And maybe we need to do more of that. We need to get people like yourselves out there so people can see it's not just a career that is not, and it's definitely not just a career anyway, for people who are on the ground doing care work. You can diversify. I mean, that's wonderful in itself. And this is great as well. So that's a really good, that just got my mind buzzing again. So this is great. At the end of the day, I thought, what more could we discuss? But this is great.
It's a very good point that you raised, because our friends at the Department of Health and Social Care, and then we do have some friends there, so we have to be very nice and careful about what we say. But the way that the advertising campaigns have run, I mean, from year to year, you couldn't really tell much difference between the advert. We're still advertising in that same way, promoting the care industry, like you said, giving someone a cup of tea, somebody else smiling, whatever it might be. Wouldn't it be lovely to hear from an 18-year-old person that before they set foot in that care home, what did you think of it? Well, I thought it was going to be smelly. I thought I'm going to have to change people. I'm going to have to do that. What did you think after your visit? And then to get their views that actually I really connected well with Jim. I was able to talk to him about football. I realized he likes Liverpool, whatever it might be. And it's that kind of thing that starts from school age. There's so many youngsters, when we talk in schools, when we talk to younger people, that don't know what they're going to do. They've got tech skill, they've got the natural social skill, they've got their family background. Why not come into tech? And just as Dudley touched on, there's so many exciting careers that people can have that are not just about direct face-to-face caring. There's other admin support roles, maintenance, chef, housekeeping, so many different things that you can do. And there's a whole world that this conference demonstrates that could be opened up for people. We'd love to see more promotions like that.
Wonderful. Such a good discussion. I want to wrap it up now, because I think we've all had a really long day and I've taken you from a talk that you really wanted to see the end of, so I'll let you go back to that. Was there anything else that you wanted to mention while we're here?
Yeah, I think it's a point where now Rishi touched upon about the Department of Health, and there's lots of now organizations now looking to fund care. I think one thing we've got to get right is speaking to the people in social care rather than not involving them. So I think the collaboration work is really key. We know the ICSs are coming into play where money's going to be spent amongst different NHS and social care. So it's a time now where we get around the table together and actually showcase what we can do. And if the systems talk, and I'm very strongly proud about inclusion, it's something that we can all get right together. And the one thing it does, it benefits the people we care for. And that's what we're here for.
That is a wonderful note to end on. Thank you both so very, very much. If people want to learn about your systems, where can they find you?
So check us out on www.carevisioncms.co.uk. You can find out more information there.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Dudley and Rishi. I will let you go back to the conference. I'll see you down there in a bit, and I'll just close up here. Thank you so much.
Thanks very much.
Everyone, thank you.
So there you have it. We've finished with all of our talks for today, and I won't be live streaming tomorrow because I will be actually on the stage tomorrow talking to people. So thanks everyone who has tuned in. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share. I think it's so important to bring the debates to a wider audience. It really helps with the algorithms and everything else. So please do that. I'm going to do a very shabby ending because I don't have my tech team in the background. So if you want to switch off now, please do, because I'm going to turn away from the camera. But thank you everyone for tuning in. Take care.